feel like I just heard a portion of your interview with Whit.
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah.
Well, we've got to start with the obvious, Coach, and this dunk and take it to the house, and that is the fact that you are transitioning to Virginia Tech, of course,
Yeah.
from Radford, and you're doing it not only from your house, but from your other house in Richmond. What has this situation been like? I know you obviously have the immediate excitement of being named to this job, and then just tumult almost immediately after.
Yeah, I think we got like 22 days to train the kids. We were not actually in our heavy part of training, so it was just like 8 hours a week, and that's basically what we had. And we got like 3 weeks with them, almost 3.5 weeks. We were able to do a scrimmage at JMU the week before we headed out on spring break, and that was it. So we went to spring break, and spring break got extended 2 weeks, and here we are 7 weeks later. So yeah, it's been a little crazy. It was a whirlwind anyway. I got announced like on Wednesday, and I was back and forth between Radford and Tech, and then finally full time at Tech on Friday. So of that week when I got hired, so it was a whirlwind regardless, of everything. So.
Yeah, I was chatting, Coach, with Logan Mosley last week about her Olympic trials experience or tryout experience, and also that 3 weeks or so of training that you were discussing. And she said that she could just sense the team getting better and buying in quickly. Yeah. How imperative was that for players like her that are going to be among your top players to buy in so fast?
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, and that's awesome that Logan, said that. I think it's kind of a sentiment for all of them, just kind of when the first time we had practice and it was, all right, look, like this is how I am in the gym. It is go time right off the bat. We don't waste a lot of time, in practices. I'm trying to get as many touches and get better. So it was different for them, but I said like this, they bought into that. I think they were, pleasantly surprised when we played JMU, that they, felt like it was just different. They had played them in the fall. I know it was only a scrimmage, but they felt different, and that goes a long way. When you're trying to turn a program around, you have to have players that buy in, because you don't do it without the players. It doesn't matter how good you are with X's and O's. If you don't have players that are going to buy into what you're doing, you're never going to win. So that was something that was like super important, for me to kind of get across to them as, we want to win. We can win here. I've been in the New River Valley for 12.5 years now. I got to believe if I can recruit to Radford, I sure as heck can recruit to Virginia Tech. So, that was kind of the sentiment that I had, that I told them from day one, that, we were here to go in the right direction, and going in the right direction meant that we had to get better. So.
I feel like I just heard a portion of your interview with Whit.
Yeah, no, big time. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was, again, it was just such a whirlwind, right? Like John Blunt caught me on Monday, and he's like, hey, we want you to come over. And I'm like, all right, I can get stuff, together. He's like, look, this is informal. Like, don't come all dressed up and everything like that. And, he's like, we just want to hear what you have to say. And, because I've already done this and turned the program around, I have a formula that I feel like works. So it's the same formula, that I had at Radford, to be honest with you. We have to get better players, but you have to stick to a theme, and that theme has to be, heightened excellence and holding people accountable, including myself and my staff.
Coach, why was it a good fit to keep Waz here? I know he's tremendously respected in the volleyball community, and Tech fans already love him, but why did that work with what you want to do?
Yeah, it was interesting, right? Because we knew Waz, but we didn't really know him. I didn't have a personal relationship with him or anything like that. But after sitting down with him, a few times and just kind of talking to him and things like that, I really got the feeling that he wanted to be a Hokie. And, one of the things that, we're talking about moving forward in the program is that we want kids to be here that really want to be here. Because if you really want to be here, that means you're going to give your all. So that's no different than, coaching, right? You want someone here that wants to be here because they love Virginia Tech, because they believe in, what Virginia Tech could be. And I knew that. He's got 2 kids that are going to end up being Hokie graduates at some point in time over the next, 3 to 4 years. That meant a lot to me, sitting down and talking to him and just talking about, his philosophy and things like that. I find him to be extremely loyal. That is always important when you're turning a program around, as well. He's a great person just in general. And that was something that I could, get a feeling for. He hasn't been in this business as long as he has, not knowing volleyball. So.
All right, Coach, what is quarantine like in the Byers house? Because your husband, JD, is, of course, on the basketball staff at VCU. You guys, I would imagine, are both high energy, type A, usually like to be on the go. And you're not in a shutdown foot pump right now, which I'm sure is kind of bizarre in its own right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting because, we're here, but there are some days that we go during the day that we actually don't have a ton of interaction with each other, just because, he starts out, he's on Zoom calls, I'm on Zoom calls, I'm on calls with the recruits, and our current kids. I'm doing staff meetings, he's doing staff meetings. Right now he's upstairs with our daughter on an academic call, that he has. So, we get up, we're moving and shaking after breakfast happens. We get a chance to hit, all of our work and everything that we're doing. And then, one of the cool things is we get a chance to shut it down at some point right before dinner, and we get to work out together. So that's been a good thing as well. That's something we've always enjoyed doing. We have dinner and as a family, and then we're right back at it. My mom is actually here with us full time. People are like, hey, you're in quarantine. Why do you need to have like an additional hand on set with a babysitter? I'm like, you guys don't understand. Like, this is not free time. This is not free time. We cannot use this as an excuse for not getting better. Is basically what my motto is at this point. We have to continue to try to do whatever we can in the times that we have right now to get better. And with my staff, it's been come up with ideas. How can we get better? How can we get through the kids? How can we make sure that they are going to continue to buy into what we're doing? So it's just been a constant twirling of wheels right now, trying to figure things out.
Well, Coach, I know it's not free time, and I know you're busy even in quarantine. So thank you for your time. And I know Hokie fans are really going to get to enjoy knowing you and your program. And I really feel honored to meet you, and can't wait to meet you in person here in Blacksburg.
Yeah, exactly. I appreciate that. We're ready to go. You know what I mean? We wanna get this thing in the right direction. It's gonna take time. But if the fans kind of stick with us, I'm pretty positive we're gonna be able to do that. So we want everybody to to come out and continue to watch us grow, understand we're gonna go through our ups and downs, but that we're committed to making this all work and getting better. So.
Thanks, Coach.
Absolutely. Thank you.